Hey, and welcome back to a brand new thing that I think I want to do here on my never-ending quest for YouTube stardom. I am trying to do something a little different now and be a little bit more vloggy and kind of talk a little bit more open and not just do POV type videos. So what do I want to do here? I want to do something called Brews and Bikes, Beers and Bikes. I'm not sure, but I just want to talk to you in general about a couple of things. And one, we're going to start it off the right way. Cheers. I am at Solace Brewery, or Solace Brewery, however you say it, out here in Falls Church, Virginia. And I'm going to talk to you about some things that I like about the bike that I got about 3 months ago. That bike is a 2023 Trek Fuel EX 9.7 that I kind of made it into a slash light. So if we call it a slash light, what did I do? Well, a stock EX comes with 150 up front, 140 rear, Fox Rhythm 36 up front, and a Fox Float X in the back. Before I even started riding this bike, I knew that I wanted to overfork it because, well, Trek says you can, but they have a stigma saying that you need to flip the minnow and run it mullet to do that. I didn't want to do that, so I just put a Fox 36 factory on it at 160, 44 millimeter degree offset, and ran the 160 with the 140 combo, and it works really, really, really well. What it did effectively was raise the bottom bracket probably a little bit, slacken the head tube out probably a degree, which is exactly what those headset cups would have done for me. So it's slash light. Set it up to be poppy, run it in the less setting, which is actually a more progressive setting for an air shock in my opinion, and learn to just ride this bike, push it into corners, trust the traction, trust the suspension. And you know what, this bike has been really, really good for just about everything you want to throw at it, from climbing technical single track to climbing flowy stuff where you need to just put power down, to descending. Now, I haven't ridden this bike yet in like the Arizona, California steeps, so that's a little bit yet to be determined. But what I have done is rode this bike all over Virginia, and it is a great bike for what we have here. Now, the terrain here isn't climb 3,000, go 3,000. It's very undulating. And what this bike does is it allows you to maintain speed in the flats by pumping. It has a nice platform. The anti-squat numbers are really good on this bike. You pedal it, it gets firm, but it doesn't feel like it's kicking you over like square edge hits. Now, the horse link that I had in my Transition Sentinel definitely 100% without a doubt descended better by probably about 10%. But on the climbing side of the spectrum, this bike, the Fuel EX 9.7, definitely outclimbs that bike in non-technical climbs. The back end just doesn't feel like it wants to come up and over. It kind of hits and you kind of have to pop it, which is just a riding perspective, another way that you want to do things. Now, this bike does do a couple things that I don't really like. Now, the Trek website says to set it up a certain way. I find that that setting is just not right for my riding style or for a million other people that I've set that bike up for. Thanks, Trek, you got us close, but not dialed. So what I do is I go on to the thing called the Trek suspension calculator, and what I do is I run it about 5 to 6 psi higher than what they call for. Now, when you set it up, make sure you cycle the suspension to get the negative and positive air chambers correct. I set it for 5 to 6 psi higher than what they recommend, and when they say 6 clicks out from closed, no, make it about 8 or 9 clicks out from closed. You'll be much happier. Set the rear end up first. Don't worry about low and high speed compression. Basically set the bike up, let it get to its sag point, ride it. If you bottom it out, don't start turning low speed compression up. Just throw a band in there, throw a reducer in there. Let the bike function the way it should be. Let it ride open. Maybe 1 or 2 clicks of low, but don't go hog wild with it. Once you get that back feeling where it needs to be for support, push, and sag, go ahead and set your front fork up. And I'll be honest with y'all, don't even worry about the suspension numbers. Get it to a certain point, look at the end of your shock, put it in the middle, ride it. More than likely, you're going to be putting more suspension pressure in the front that it calls for. And I do that just to maintain steering and bike geometry when you get going downhill, when you're in the flats, when you're climbing, when you're pushing in that corner is really where you want that suspension to kind of give you that feedback back. You want to be able to pump the corner, gain speed in and out of each switchback on the descents. It's just really easy to do if you do it right. I'm not a pro at it by any means, but I'm getting way better at it. So back to what the Slash Lite is. 2003 9.7 Trek Fuel EX in ASU Maroon. 160, 140, 29ers front and rear, 2.6s with cush core. And don't get me going on cush core because that's a whole nother thing. It's not about flat protection, it's about dampening in your tires. This bike comes with an SLX build. It's perfect. You don't need anything else. Out of the gate, it weighs like 32 pounds with my cush cores in, 32.5 ounces, whatever. I'm gonna need another one of these. But what this bike does is it opens up a whole nother world of trail performance. Thank you, Trek, for coming up with this bike in the Gen 6 variety. Sorry about that. Allergies out here in Virginia, just being real with you. But you open it up. It opens up when you get going fast. You get going fast, it's a dead silent bike. It rips on the downhills. It climbs really, really well. And the fit is something else. So for me, I'm 5'10". I weigh 165 pounds currently, and I ride a size large. Now, all the Trek measurement things say I should be on a medium, medium large, maybe the bottom end of a large. I like bigger bikes. I think they offer more stability for what I'm looking for as a rider. Ride each one, see what you think, see how they go. Now, you can make your own Trek Slash Lite Fuel EX by just getting any old Trek. I highly recommend the 9.7 as a starting point, SLX-based componentry with an XT rear derailleur. Throw that fork on the front, let it ride open, have fun on it, go abuse it, throw some ride wrap on it if you want. I haven't done it yet, but I've been lucky so far. So that's the Slash Lite Fuel EX set up in a 160, 140 configuration with me just rambling here over a now almost empty beer, which needs to be fixed, and some chicken thighs out here at Sauce Brewery. Next time you see me do this, I'm probably going to be doing a review on something else. I don't know, but I'm going to do it from the Bike Lane Brewery out in Reston, Virginia, and talk to you just about my life, bikes in general, and what we want to do. So take it for what it is. I'll see you guys on the flip side. I hope you enjoy kind of my new format. I'm trying to be more real with everybody and not just do POV, pointing cameras and doing all that other good stuff. So, hey, have a good day. Cheers. We'll talk to you later, and go ride some bikes.